it's a race.
Well, and we've talked about it too. If you're one of those guys that are, going to get, just into the main event, you don't want to start next to the box. You want to go where you're going to be if you got the 18th gate pick. Obviously, 18th
Well, I'm
gate
seeing
pick.
where they're at right now. Osborne's in the inside, somewhat in the middle of the inside. RJ Hampshire's in gate 3. Well, if you're Osborne, don't waste it now. You got 3 main events in the Triple Crown. You want to get a start like that? I think he'd work with that tonight.
Yeah, definitely likes that, especially in that last one.
Do you have any good battles here in Atlanta or anywhere with rollerball?
Oh yeah. You got to remember.
I've heard the rollerball stories. That's for sure.
Got to remember those 3 main events tonight. They changed. It's not 6 minutes anymore plus 1. It's 8 minutes plus 1. Then the second one will be 10 minutes plus 1, and the third one will be 12 minutes plus 1 for the 250 guys.
2 more minutes added to both the 250 and 450 main event number 1. Here's Osborne. He's jumping through the whoops right there. Found himself a little bit of a rhythm. Look back to see who saw it. These guys cross the finish line. We'll get our first chance to see what speeds they're bringing here in the second session. And for Osborne, we talked about it a bit earlier, is being a champion, you've got a lot of pressure on you, probably more on yourself than anyone would maybe put on you. And for him, he's just got to remember what got him that championship plate was riding aggressive and staying on it. He's under good program over there. I mean, they're not letting him think of anything other than what he needs to think of. And he's got the experience, got a great team behind him, and for him, it's just going to be fighting off the challenges, new challenges. He raced with Ferrandis a year ago, and Ferrandis was fast. He knows what to expect. Oh,
yellow flag down the whoops there. That's the only thing that's really hard for the guys when you're on a heater. You see those yellow flags, and you don't want to run into nobody, but at the same time, you want to keep that lap going.
It's one of the big challenges in these qualifiers is you're trying to get alone. You want to be by yourself so you can take all the lines you want to, and you're dealing with the different obstacles, as they come around the track, but some of the obstacles are the riders, and having riders in your way, and it's not even just yellow flags. I mean, for Martin Davos right here, he might put together a just flawless lap, and then halfway through this thing, one rider might make a mistake in front of him, move over just to get out of the way, completely block him, and there's the lap. It's shot.
Well, we know Martin Davlos is fast. He's probably got the most heat race wins of anybody in that 250 class, and he gets good starts. So that's another guy that we haven't talked too much about possibly getting a good start in this Triple Crown. And
if you want to talk about the perfect format for the perfect rider, it might just be Martin Davos tonight. He's won. I'd like to know the stat on that, how many heat races he's won, but the guy gets great starts. He's a sprinter, and tonight might be a night where he just gets it done because he puts himself in great position. We'll see what his time is right now. Martin Davalos crosses the finish line, and he is number 1, 54.4, your fastest qualifier in this session.
I'm still impressed with Blows. Sitting there in 5th right now with a 55.3. He knows what he's got to do. But Mosman had that 55.2, so he's going to be up there a little bit more.
Right now, Mosman would be in 7th, behind Jordan Smith, right in front of Chris Blows. Now, Davalo sits with a 54.4. But in the first session, it was Zach Osborne with a 53.7. So if these guys want to make a change to the standings going into the Triple Crown, They're going to have to get under a 53.7. That was Osborne. Followed closely by Austin Faulkner with a 53.8 and a 54.1 for Dylan Ferrandis. So right now, these times are not as quick as they were running in the first session.
Oh.
RJ Hampshire?
Yeah. Not sure why he went around there and just making sure that seeing Jordan Smith there, that's that sweeping right-hand corner, triple this. And
Dylan Ferrandis shoots to the top of the board with a 53.7. It's a 7.95 to Osborne's 7.89. So Osborne still has the fastest overall, but Ferrandis by 0.6 of a second is your fastest in this one. And you know, at the end of the day, you go to the line based on your fastest qualifying time between the two, but still, as a racer, you want to be the fastest one in this final session, even if it's not as fast as the other session, because you let everyone know that, hey, the last time we were on the track, when it was at its worst, when it was at its toughest, I was the fastest guy here. So even though Ferrandis did not beat Osborne's time, I still think that's something that he could use for his own confidence, and maybe something to throw in the minds of the riders in his competition that, hey, might not have caught you from the first one, but I'm still the fastest one when we finished the qualifying session earlier today. That's a mentality a lot of these riders will try to take to the line.
There's Blows.
There's Blows.
Yeah, he went around, and what they're doing is slowing them down, and you know, the AMA officials there are saying, hey, you got a clear track, go ahead and go back on there. And haven't really been a big fan of that, going around the whoops.
If you look back in time between you and Rollerball, who won more than the other?
Who beat each other?
Yeah.
I would say me.
That's what I thought.
But he did?
No, just wondering. Just curious.
I tell you, he's one of the guys that you pass that if you passed him, he's going to pass you back in the next corner, I can guarantee it.
Jim, something we haven't talked about this year is the new nets. What do you think about those things?
I like them. I think they worked really well last weekend when we saw Blake Baggett get into it, and he was able to, it stopped his bike. His bike wasn't bent up. He wasn't hurt or anything. Got back on, remounted, finished up into that top 9 to qualify. Get a chance here now looking at Austin Faulkner now and see if he can jump up. Right now, Austin Faulkner in 6th with a 54.5. But yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I think that they're doing their job. They're saving guys and saving the bikes, and they're able to rebound.
They saved Blake Baggett last week.
Yeah, definitely.
This week they have a position right before the triple jump, right here after the corner. Austin Faulkner is on a ripper right now. Ferrandis 53.7, Osborne 54.0, and RJ Hampshire with a 54.3 right now in this session. There's your top 3. Faulkner not having it. And he shoots to the top of the board with a 53.5, your fastest of the session and your fastest of the day in the 250 division. Austin Faulkner, he wanted it and he got it.
Well, and I knew that last lap he was on a heater. He looked like he was ready to go, and now he's been rewarded with that. We'll see if we can't find Dylan Ferrandis and see if he goes back. Dylan Ferrandis working with David Villeman now.
Marvin Busquin had a 53.1 in his first 450 session, but Faulkner's time that he just threw down would be your second fastest time of the day in front of Blake Baggett, Jason Anderson, Eli Tomac, and Cooper Webb. So it's no question Faulkner gets the win in Tampa, and he's feeling it. He wants to back it up here in Atlanta, and the speed, no question, so far tonight.
Osborne now going through the whoops. You see him jump in, skip a few of them. Oh, hang on. Man, he had to grab a handful. Looked like that front end was starting to wash with him. And it looks like he might be on a heater right now, too.
Ferrandis to the top of the board with a 53.3.
Well, they got about 38 seconds to go here, but Osborne, I think he's on a heater right now. If he can make it, let's see if he can do it. He goes up and over the finish line.
Nope. It's a 53.8, half a second off of Ferrandis. So remember earlier in the show We said Faulkner and Ferrandis were going to bring some new speed to this class, and Osborne needed to just be patient, not deal with it or not overreact to it, and then Osborne made us look bad. He passed him up. Well, now Ferrandis and Faulkner they backed us up, Jim. I said it.
Jimmy D having his problems right there, number 40. There's that net you talked about, Daniel. Yeah, that speed from Ferrandis and Faulkner, it's wicked fast.
Well, you know, and I've always thought that sometimes you see the raw speed in a qualifier, and you're like, you know what, that's not race speed. That's just a guy pulling together one fast lap. But with these guys, you're looking at number 1 and 2 from a week ago. Ferrandis and Faulkner, obviously reverse order, Faulkner first, Ferrandis second. So these guys are not only throwing it down in qualifying, but they're doing it in the race. And clearly they were the faster 2 guys last week. Osborne was there. They slowly drifted away. I think Zach made the right decision, said, you know what, this is a championship. I'm okay. But in pure speed, Dylan Ferrandis and Austin Faulkner are bringing something special to this East Coast. Osborne in third. R.J. Hampshire